Hello, I'm Kurt Lidke, Executive Director of Klamath Film, and you just watched Solid Ground, a documentary in our Southern Shorts category profiling the Solid Ground Equine Assisted Activities and Therapy Facility here in Klamath Falls. And joining us is Kamrin Nielsen, the Director of Solid Ground. Hello, Kamrin. Thank you for joining us.
How's it going, Kurt? Nice to see you.
This is a new one for us. Normally, we do our Q&As on stage at the Ross Ragland, and hopefully we can still do that come September. But for the films being presented online, we wanted to make sure that we have Q&As with every filmmaker. So appreciate you taking some time out for this. Uh, you are one of the few filmmakers in this year's festival that could be considered local for us. You know, you started your own photography and video business here a few years back, and I know you've done a lot of commercial work and you've done some documentaries and worked all over the county, but why Klamath? What do you like filming about in the Klamath Basin?
Well, that's an interesting question. I don't know if I've really thought about that too much, but I guess one thing that I love about filming here in Klamath is how easy it is. I mean, I've never had any issues filming anything anywhere, and pretty much everybody's always super friendly and supportive and down to help make these projects, become a reality. So I guess that's probably my favorite thing about filming in a small town.
And you've filmed all over too. It's not just Klamath County. You've filmed all over the country, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't say maybe all over the country, but yeah, I've got to get out, do some international projects, mainly on a personal basis. Went to the Republic of Georgia on the border of Russia for my very first ever film project, basically. So super ambitious. Um, didn't turn out very well, but it was still a great experience. Super happy that I did it. And then a couple years ago in 2018, we went to Havana, Cuba, and did a little film about some street musicians, which made it into the KIFF festival in 2019. So yeah, awesome to be back again.
Terrific. Well, Solid Ground. How did you get connected with the crew there, and how did this film come together?
Sure, yeah. So I think just mainly through word of mouth, which is kind of, how I get most of my gigs actually is through word of mouth. So, somebody I'd done work with before had known Shelly. So Shelly Trumbley's the executive director out there. She was one of her um, staff members actually knows who I am and has been at maybe some weddings I've filmed before and mentioned my name. And she reached out to me and I thought they were doing something really cool out there, really interesting, and they're trying to help people. So it was definitely a project I wanted to be a part of, and we collaborated a little bit on how we wanted to go about it, and yeah, we ended up making like I think 4 or 5 different pieces, but the one you guys seen just saw is the longest and my favorite. So
Terrific. So the film really details the human relationship to horses from a therapeutic perspective. But in the course of making the film, did you see the effectiveness of that effort? Did you see people starting to change with their interactions with animals?
it's hard for me to say that. Mainly just because we were there for just such a short amount of time. I think we spent 4 or 5 days there total is all. And we really each day was a different group of people, so we really only got to meet each of the subjects for like one day at a time. So we didn't really get to see that ourselves, but just watching the people interact with the horses and listening to their stories about how it's affected them and really benefited their life. Yeah, I definitely believe there's some real benefits. That's for sure.
So what was it that you wanted people to know about the solid ground facilities?
I would just want people to know that it's a really great group of people doing a lot of work with you know not a lot of resources. And so the more help that they can get, the more people that can see what they're doing and could potentially maybe even want to either donate, become a volunteer, or just share the video, tell people about it.
Inevitably, in the course of filmmaking, something always gets cut. If it's something that you really love or something that wasn't cohesive for the story. So, what got put on the cutting room floor for this?
Oh man, that's kind of tough. I feel like for this film, I actually was able to use, a lot of the footage. If anything, there was stuff I guess I wish I could have got more of, if anything, which is also another big dilemma in filmmaking is, maybe not getting enough.
Also, in the course of filmmaking, there's always the things that at the time you might be freaking out about, either funny or weird, or oh crap, I left that in the car, or I left that at home and I really need it for this scene. Now you can look back at it and laugh. So was there anything really memorable or funny that happened in the course of making this film?
um, this
Especially
was
when you're working with animals too, you can't really direct in animals the way that you can people, so you never quite know how they're going to react.
Yeah, everything actually went really smoothly on these shoots, and man, I can't really think of anything off the top of my head. I'm sure there's got to be something, but um, I guess maybe just interacting with the subjects was kind of interesting and maybe more challenging. Some of them are either have some disabilities that their communication skills are a little bit difficult to read, or their body language. So just have being aware of how people are feeling, and if the camera or anything's kind of making them a little scared or nervous. Try to stay away from that. I wanted people to feel comfortable. So that was probably the one of the more interesting, maybe challenging things to overcome on this shoot.
Okay. The stars of solid ground are the horses, right? But the people dedicated to this kind of therapy seem to put in a lot of work and heart into the project. So tell us about the people who keep solid ground running.
Yeah, so it's really cool. Shelley Trumbley, the executive director, I mentioned her before. Um, she literally does this from the moment she wakes up until she goes to sleep. She spent the last few years of her life, trying to build this property that you saw. That barn that you see actually came from a different city that they broke it down and trailered it out there and rebuilt it. Um, so they're just super passionate about it, and they really see that within our community, especially, there's a big need for help for people with disabilities, and it's just cool to see that it doesn't matter what kind of disability you have. You don't even need one actually, and you could go out there and you'd have a good time and see benefits, and you're going to leave happier um, after hanging out with the horses. They're pretty cool.
Terrific. What do you hope people get out of your film when they see it?
Yeah, I would say that I would just want people to to see a new form of therapy that they maybe haven't seen before, or recognized, or maybe realized had such great benefits, and yeah, just to let people know that there's more options out there, and yeah, if you know anybody who needs help or want to be a volunteer, feel inspired, maybe want to donate, yeah, you can always check out Solid Ground's website, solidgroundkf.com.
Beyond the web, are there other ways that people can help out or assist or volunteer or donate, or maybe people need therapy and are looking at this as a potential option?
Um, I don't know if I can answer that very well, anyways. That would probably be a better question for Shelley or the Solid Ground team. But um, yeah, I think just the main way to help would be, just spread the word, tell people about it. And if you felt so inclined, yeah, donations are super helpful. They're doing a lot of work with minimal resources. So the more help they can get, the more help they can give.
Do you have any future projects that we should be aware of, or things upcoming? Any documentaries or films that you're
Yeah,
working on you can announce?
we got a lot of great projects going on this year. 2020 has been kind of a crazy one, obviously, but it's been pretty interesting. We've actually been finding more opportunities with film, especially. For example, I do a lot of real estate photography and videos, so people weren't able to go do in-home tours. So I think we made like 15 or plus video tours of houses this summer so far. Um, and then most recently, working with a new startup online company that's trying to get into online produce sales. And their founder is located, I believe, in the San Jose area, but it's going to be a nationwide and a European company. So right now we're working on making a bunch of little different mini documentaries featuring all the farmers and ranchers that they're going to be suppliers on their website. So that's super exciting. And yeah, it might be my biggest project to date. So looking forward to it.
Cool. Well, maybe we'll see that at next year's KIFF.
Yeah, you betcha.
Terrific. Thank you, Cameron, so much for taking some time out to talk to us about your film Solid Ground. And in addition to being available online through Eventive, people can catch Solid Ground in person at the Ross Ragland Theater here in Klamath Falls on Sunday, September 20th at 12:15 p.m. for the 8th annual Klamath Independent Film Festival. Thanks so much, Cameron.
Awesome. Thanks, Kurt. Thanks for having me.